All right, good evening, everyone, and welcome to Green White Checkered TV. Tonight we have the second to last race of the Area 51 Sunday SuperTruck Series here tonight at the all-fast iRacing Superspeedway. 70 laps is our distance for tonight's event. One fast pair for all of these drivers, and of course three green white checkers, I should say, should that come into play. We'll see these trucks going about 230 plus here tonight. Fuel mileage should be about a 3-stop race, I believe. I say sounds like fuel mileage right around the 20 lap or so range. But again, one of the most difficult pit roads to get in and out of, and even to hit your pit stalls with the speed limits being just that little bit quicker. These trucks going to be going about, I think, 65 miles an hour in pit road. But of course, having to get down from that 230 or so down to 65 is going to be a challenge in itself. So a lot of things to watch out for. Of course, got to watch out for that low line in-ring turns 1 and 3. Very easy to catch the apron down there as well. So a lot to watch for here tonight. And good evening to Mr. Walls from Troutville, Virginia. So I'm going to go out on a limb and say hope fishing is going well and hope you are staying warm, sir. Miss you on track, but hope you're having a wonderful evening. And of course, hope everybody had a wonderful Thanksgiving and happy and safe Thanksgiving in that. And then, yeah, say getting full into the swing of the holidays. Say we got Thanksgiving done, got Christmas, New Year's. I say there's plenty coming up quickly. So while these drivers put down their laps, let's go ahead and pull up our championship standings, because that's going to be very important to see where your favorite drivers are in the points. As you can see, Gabe Butler right now a 4-point lead over Ryan Decker going into these final 2 races. And then only another 3 back to Rick Sanchez there in third. Then you got Eric Laurie and Nick Wing rounding out our top 5. Nick about 14 out of the lead, and then 17 out for Mr. Wing. And then you see Charles Johnson, Bud Steele, Jason Bogart, Bob Fitzgerald, Jack Walls. Unfortunately, Jack, as you can see, not here this evening out in Troutville, Virginia. But so Jack's going to drop a little bit here tonight, which will maybe allow some of these other drivers to jump up into that top 10, like a Hondo Longmire. And then you see Frank Ranger Jr., Dean Wilkinson, Jacob Lee, Austin Call, and then Kevin Freeze, Jim Brooks. Not making a start so far this playoffs. However, I can confirm that the 51 truck is here this evening. And so obviously bias on that one a little bit. Definitely excited to see him out on track. And so, yeah, so I'll say joined here shortly by Mr. Matt Wagner. I think he's running around checking in with the drivers, making sure everybody is got everything ready to go. And I think about 21 trucks here taking the grid this evening. So, yeah, so it's going to be a fun one here tonight. You can see up on the top of the screen there, you can see the names highlighted in green for the most part, usually are our playoff drivers. I believe one of the drivers, for whatever reason, doesn't show up correctly on it, but it'll show correctly on the other one. But right now we got a spoiler, though. Peter DeBorgia in that number 40 truck right now sitting at the top, and he is just completely followed up by a bunch of playoff drivers, as you can see, from second all the way to 7th. I believe actually 8th and 9th as well, even, yeah, all the way through to the top 10 right now. So Peter DeBorgia putting in a monster lap against these guys, going for that championship. So one of those things where you like having good teammates, like Peter will be with, I believe, Gabe Butler, Eric Laurie, and also Dude Conrad here tonight as well. Also always fun to see Dude in the race. But say Gabe's going to be like, oh, man, I lost a bonus point because my teammate was too quick tonight. So that could come into play. We always talk about how every point can matter in these races, and we'll see if that comes into play here tonight. Got just about 30 seconds left in practice. So not too many trucks on track. I think the 66, Gary Winters, kind of hanging out on pit road, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. So he thought about putting down a lap, but he's like, you know what, I'm just going to hang out here. So Gary hanging out. Looks like he'll start towards the back of the field. Looks like about 12 trucks have put down a qualifying lap, 13th on back, opting to start from the back of the field, kind of using that. And what happens then is your I rating is kind of what sorts you for those remaining positions. So the furthest drivers up will have a higher I rating. Those that start a little further back might have a little lower I rating. And that's all just based off of iRacing official races for those that maybe do or either aren't familiar or I've seen it. So that's kind of how those happen. So not at all a view of their drivers' abilities, because a lot of drivers don't like to do those official races. So, however, let's jump up to our starting grid here tonight. And it's going to be that number 40 truck of Peter DeBorgia on pole position by just over 300ths of a second. And then you've got Gabe Butler next to him, Rick Sanchez, Bud Steele, Charles Johnson rounding out our top 5. A couple of good spots there for the Roswell and TW drivers. Ryan Decker, Eric Laurie, Jason Bogart, Dean Wilkinson, Jacob Lee, our top 10. Then you got Jeremy Osborne, Ambrose Nabel there in the number 04 truck in 12th. As we continue to run down the field here, you've got Seth Groover, Dude Conrad, Nick Wing, Rudy Doden, Jim Brooks, Gary Winters, Bob Fitzgerald, Todd Siebels, Hondo Longmire, and Frank Ranger Jr. will be our 22 trucks taking the grid here tonight. And you know what? He's only a part-timer, so I feel like it's only fair to give him a hard time and pull him up during the warm-up lap. And that is going to be Mr. Peter DeBorgia, because he's just jumping in and spoiling the bonus points for his teammates here, Peter. I mean, how does that feel to knock a bonus point away from your teammate there in that 88?
It was the first thing I said when I crossed the start-finish line. Or actually, it's the first thing I said when he crossed the start-finish line, because I think I set the lap before he did. But he said it don't matter, no big deal. And he's just glad he's got someone up here to work at the front with, make sure we get our lap sled. But ISS is the only place I can qualify decent, so I guess I'll take it.
Well, I'll say I always love seeing the paint scheme. So you got the full Haas livery, extra life there, and I love the flip of the Monster Energy logo to an E on the side too. Just the little details, man, and that's. Your stuff is so good, Peter. I didn't catch all that initially, like while we're looking at it while I was talking. It's like, man, you got some fun stuff going on here.
Thanks. It's just fun to doodle around with once in a while. I wasn't a big Kurt Busch fan as he was racing for SHR. He obviously eventually ended up at Ganassi, which is the reason why I run the 40 in almost everything anyhow. But a few seasons ago in a different league, me and a team were paying tribute to a different team every week. And this is the straw I drew when we got SHR. So I came out pretty good, so I definitely keep it in the rotation.
Looks good, man. Well, I'll let you go work strategy with Gabe. Good luck tonight, and happy to have you here tonight, sir.
All right, appreciate it. Thank you.
All right, that is our pole sitter there, Peter Borgia, in that number 40 Extra Life truck. And again, what's really cool as well is he does these paint schemes for some of his friends and teammates and others, and he'll paint you a truck, and he doesn't want anything for it except for a donation to the Extra Life Foundation. So definitely always been pretty meaningful to see what he does with that one week in and week out. So appreciate what Peter does for that. And it's about time to go here. Matt Wagner, I think I saw him poking around. He'll probably pop back in here in just a second. But you can see the field starting to stack up here 2 by 2 as we hit the restart zone. The green flag is out, and we are down and away. Peter Borgia, Gabe Butler, but right now it's that 510 giving a big push to the 50 as we build up the speed. Sorry, to the 40 as we build speed. And I say right on cue, Matt Wagner popping into the chat. And Matt, it's iRacing Superspeedway, 230 plus miles an hour. It's going to be fun tonight.
It's one of my favorite tracks. Not many people might not agree with that, but I think it's a great racetrack. It's just people got to. It's the hard banking. The hard banking where we go into turns 1 and 3 is people got to counterfeit that.
It's a
big turn. Yep.
Very big transition.
Very sharp turn. Yes, sir.
As you see right there, a little bobble by the 510, but able to hang on to it. But Gabe's been able to jump in front of that number 40, those teammates we just talked about. And we'll see who's going to get the push to the line, because Ryan Decker is trying to give Bud Steele all the push he can handle. But it will be Gabe Butler leading lap 1. We talked about all those all-important bonus points. I'm kind of looking at the boot knockers right now, and they're got 3 of the 4 of them lined up on that inside line. You got the 071 of Eric Laurie, just a few trucks behind. But you can see they've already kind of got organized. And yeah, this is definitely one where you got to kind of strategize. And I always refer to this track as a Dover on steroids, just the way you drop into the turns and bounce out of the turns. It's a Dover to me.
Well, I guess you're right. I can kind of see it where you're going at here with the all across the racetrack. It is all banked, even the straightaways and the front stretch. Yeah, I guess I can see that.
You see Peter DeBorgia, he jumps up to the top, and that gave a huge charge to the outside line, but still not enough for Bud Steele to get that lap led as of yet. But I think, right now Peter said, okay, I've got that lap led, or I should say I got my team at that lap led. Now I'm going to kind of wait and bide my time, because again, Gabe had the points lead by just 4 points over Ryan Decker. So again, that's going to be in Ryan's best interest now, as he wants to try to push the 6 clear, then to get himself a bonus point as well. Try to keep on tabs with that 88 here in the points. And again, with Peter getting the pole, there won't be an extra bonus point for one of our playoff drivers. And that's big to me, Matt. I mean, that kind of takes that one away from one of our guys.
Yeah. You know, you see some surprise entries come in here and kind of spoil the moment, but
that's their job, though. I mean,
I hate to spoil them, man. I hate to be that guy.
I think there's winning races and winning poles versus you don't want to be that guy for maybe spinning out or wrecking out one of the contenders.
Someone in the points, yeah. Definitely hate to be that guy.
But I want to see what Peter DeBorgia did, go for the pole. I want to see these other guys go for the wins. Like I don't want anybody to let a Gabe Butler or a Bud Steele by because hey, they're in the playoffs. No, I want to see. So I'm looking at their group right now. I want to see a Seth Groover, a Jude Conrad. I want to see them go for the win in these races. If they've got the opportunity to, I think they should try to take it. Obviously, if it's a teammate in front of them, it kind of changes things, but I want to see these guys go for it. And I don't think we'll see anything less than that from a Seth Groover, for instance. As we say that, Bud Steele does get to the point, and I believe that will give the 6 truck a lap lead. Now it's going to be a turn for that number 48 of Ryan Decker. Again, Ryan, like I said, he's the closest to Gabe. Oh, look at Gabe going top or bottom to top there. I think, again, he got his lap lead. He's going to roll to the back here. These guys thinking the long game right now in these front 2 trucks.
Yeah. And as you kind of gained experience in these trucks, as many races I ran last season in these trucks, I want to be up front. Especially this track. Daytona, Talladega, I kind of want to be where Gabe's at.
And I believe Ryan Decker gets that lap led in the 48 truck, so again, puts him on par with the bonus points with that 88 truck. But now with the 88, like you mentioned, Matt, with him backing out and see if Ryan kind of goes your approach and wants to stay up front, this could be an opportunity where maybe the 6 and the 48, they stay locked together, maybe say, hey, you know what? You're further up in the points than I am. I'd say right now Bud's sitting 7th in points, 20 out of the lead. Maybe say, you know what, I'm going to kind of go full teammate here and try to keep that 48 up front. Maybe try to lead the most laps out of that number 48 machine, gain a point on Gabe. So there's a lot of potential strategies. But again, the third truck in line there, that 510, he was 3rd in points coming tonight, only 7 out of the lead. So same thing for Rick here. He's going to want to try to find a way to get forward but again, you got to kind of figure out when and where you want to make those moves.
Whoa, that was
Yeah, I got a couple trucks jumping outside.
Unless he did that intentionally?
I don't think Dude Conrad, his looked like that truck just didn't, just maybe too much speed on entry. But yeah, I think though the 48, though, Ryan Decker, I think he's rolling back here. He said, all right, I got that lap lead. I want to drop back now myself.
Well, speaking of bright paint schemes here, check out that 21. I talked to them pre-race. Him and Hondo and the 43 have highlighted truck schemes.
Yeah.
The exact color.
Yeah, I think Hondo's trying to figure out their branding. And say right now, I think they're going to be the Highlighter Bros is the current plan. So with he and Jacob right now, but I mean that's what you got to do. Sometimes you got to have those nice paint schemes that pop. Be it a livery, be it a color. I mean, I look at that 04 of Ambrose Nabel. I mean, that's an iconic Marlboro paint scheme, but with a Miller paint or sponsorship on it. So. There's just those little certain ones that just really stand out. And then for those that are familiar with Area 51 week in and week out, I look at like an Eric Laurie. There's not a time where he is not in a John Deere truck. So it's if you see a John Deere truck, like my brain just goes straight to Eric Laurie.
Did he lead that lap? I'm pretty sure he did.
It was tight outside.
Nope.
Not sure.
Jason did. Yep, Jason did by about 0.002 of a second.
Again, I mean that's great for Jason too, because he was, I think he was tied for 7th in points with Bud Steele. So, so that's also a good opportunity for him. Again, all these guys want to get as far up in the points as you can. And again, too, you never know with a 4-race playoff. You don't know who might wind up having an off race, and maybe that 20-point gap jumps down to maybe a 10-point gap if something goes wrong or goes right. So that's why these guys got to go for each and every lap and each and every race to try to get everything they can. But yeah, right there you can see, oh, contact up front.
Ooh.
The 6, the 21 involved, and the 10 as well. And I believe that might be all of them. You see Jacob's kind of pinned up against the wall here. But I think the Bud Steele definitely got a piece of that as well. And then trying to check as well on that 21 truck. Got to hunt him down here. Or sorry, the 10 truck. I'm sorry. Oh, yeah, some good damage to him as well. So let's go back here. And it was an odd situation, I feel like, coming out. You see the 21. I'm going to back it up a little bit too, Matt, because from what I was looking at here, he kind of caught the apron and then from there try to get back up into position. So you see right here, he's down on the apron right there with the truck, and then he starts to move back up a little bit to try to, again, get off the apron. But then Bud Steele sees a lot of momentum shift in his favor, and then you can see them both start to go towards the same real estate. And so I think, let's say, we'll take a little, see if we can get a better angle. Here's a good shot of this one. And you can see the 20 kind of comes up, and yeah, the 6, and just the 6 is there at that point. And then Jason Bogart, just nothing he can do. You all see a little contact for Eric Laurie as well. I don't think that's going to affect him. I think he's actually going to have the lead at the time of this yellow. But unfortunately, though, contact for those 3 trucks, so the 6, the 10, and the 21. And the other thing, Matt, this is right smack dab into fuel mileage window here. These trucks, again, could go about 20 on fuel. We're pitting here with lap 10, so this could be a 2-stop race to the end from here. As you can see, the field very spread out right now on pit entry. A little surprising that everybody hasn't been able to get squared up together.
Yeah, that was pretty unfortunate for Jacob Lee. That was almost too late of a move there. That was, unfortunately, it just kind of hurt Bud Steele and.
Yeah, and I don't feel like it didn't feel like anything malicious. I feel like just kind of a mistake, and then both of them going kind of for the same area. As you see the 510 quick stop for him, he's going to get fuel, and he is gone. So he's going to step out with the lead here after pit stops. And then other drivers, of course, going to be trying to get some damage repairs here. So what we'll do for just a moment while these trucks are getting their damage repairs and pit stops service, we'll step away for just a moment. We'll be back here on the one to go, so stay tuned.
40 Racewear, makers of the ultimate sim racing shoes and custom apparel designed for sim racing by sim racers. 40 racing shoes are engineered to connect racers to the pedals in a way no other racing shoe can, all the while giving you the comfort needed to complete those double and triple stints. Visit 40racewear.com and check out the latest sim racing products that let you connect to your sim.
All right, lights are off of the pace track. You see a handful of drivers opting to go ahead and take some extra fuel. Like we talked about, that fuel window is right on the edge here. So you see the 071, the 40, the 6. I saw the 88 a little further back there, the 48. So a lot of the playoff contenders opting to go ahead and jump in here. One of those that was third in points, though, the 510, he is going to stay out after the first pit stop. So pretty much you're going to have everybody from Seth Groover on forward. These trucks all went ahead and pitted the first time around, And then from 10th on back, or I apologize, 11th on back, all of these trucks topping off on that one to go. So we have a little bit of a split field here. A few trucks got to really hustle up because they're still just leaving pit road. And right now that pace car is, or pace truck, I should say, is entering turn 3 now. So this is going to be tight for a few of these guys. I'm a little worried for some of those trucks like the 28, the 80, the 66, and the 8. I think everybody else should be okay. But yeah, those 4, though, we're going to have to really try to hustle up here. I can tell you Jason Bogart had about a minute and a half on pit road getting surfaces, trying to get that damage repaired manually. Also a little bit of damage to that number 32 truck of Seth Groover. He was on pit road for about 42 seconds. Saw a little bit of damage to the side of his truck. However, pace truck is off, hands it over to that 510. You got Charles Johnson next to him. Then Ambrose Nabel and Jeremy Osborne there in row number 2. As green flag is out, we are back underway here, starting lap number 13. Again, should be 2 more pit stops to the end in this one now, so that could really play a role in this one. And there was that concern I had in the back. I'm watching the intervals, but right now you can see Nick Wing just trying to work his way up there. Here comes a few trucks behind him as well. But I'm not so certain they're going to be able to get back to those guys, so we might have possibly two packs of trucks here. But again, still a long ways to go. And surprisingly, actually, the 510 here, he's jumping to the top. He looks like he's going to roll back here. And I think what we're seeing right now is this is right now a race of who doesn't want to lead, as I kind of left Hondo Longmire. Jacob Lee kind of left nowhere to go for these 2 trucks, trying to figure out how to push forward there. Now they get to the middle right in front of that 32. And also you see with those changes going around here, you got the 9 now, Charles Johnson. Todd Siebels jumps all the way up into second, 18 positions gained, as well as now the 41, Jeremy Osborne. Hondo Longmire's right up there in the top. And also Jim Brooks now plus 11 in that Area 51, number 51 F-150. So right now, but it still continues to be that number 9 of Charles Johnson leading the way. However, up top, we got the highlighter bros working the top side, the 43 and the 21. I believe Hondo is cleared. I don't know if Jacob is cleared yet, but they've got really good help from that 32. And yeah, here they go. They both cleared. They're going to drop to the bottom, and they will take over the front 2 spots here in those 2 Toyota Tundras, with the 43 leading the 21 here, as we're going to come around to lap number 15 next time around. I will jump out the back of that number 43 truck. You see his teammate there locked on behind him. And then you can see the field all starting to try to stagger off. And here comes that 32, though, with a big head of steam. And there's a little bit of a scrape, but doesn't look like it's affecting him too bad. And Dean Wilkinson peeking in here as well. And here comes that momentum shift on the outside. The 32 being pushed by the 55. Seth has a nose ahead. But will it be enough to clear in 3? And will he choose to clear in 3? Answer is no, not yet. Dean Wilkinson going to stay committed to him. Now Dean's actually going to peak top. Oh, it's close between the 2 of them out of 4. Dean's going to stay latched on right back onto that rear bumper. And these guys are again squirrely pushing as hard as they can. As now Seth Groover is going to lead that lap. And here comes Dean with help from that number 9. These 2 teammates up top there with Dean Wilkinson, Charles Johnson, part of TW Motorsports. As well as that number 45 of Todd Siebels, who's right there with them here. Usually these guys like to sandbag and wait till towards the end to make some moves, but I think they like what they're seeing up front. They're starting to make some pushes early. And we do have a few of those trucks, unfortunately, with, I think, the timing of that yellow that may have got burned a little bit, and possibly some pit penalties, I believe, as well, because I see Gary Winters not too far away from getting put down a lap, unfortunately, in that 66. And then also a lengthy pit stop for the 10 of Jason Bogart. I think Nick Wing actually is retired from this event. And then further back, you've got these 3 trucks here, or sorry, the 80 and the 8, I should say, I apologize, working together to just try to minimize time loss. And in the back of the lead pack right now, you've got Gabe Butler in the 88 and the 08 of Bob Fitzgerald. Getting an update there, a pit road glitch for the 28 of Nick Wing. That's unfortunate. That's something, the downside of sim racing is you just never know kind of what things could go wrong that you don't want to go wrong, as we're about to hit 4 wide here. Back to 3 wide there with the 51, the 43, and the 21 there. They get kind of a little bit more singled out now. But that was close there for just a moment as well. Again, plenty of room to do it, but it always gets a little bit nervous when that happens. But right now, though, you've got TW here running the top 2 spots now with the 9 and the 45. And then again, same thing, Dean Wilkinson, he's dropping to the back in that 55 truck. So right now it's kind of, again, a race of who doesn't want to lead this thing at the moment. So it could open up some doors for some of these guys that maybe are going to try a different strategy, or maybe try to push early and then back down. And that's what that 04 here, Ambrose Nabel in that Blind Squirrel Racing team is working for in the 04. He's had some really good runs lately, so that's where he can try to pull some strategy off in that 04 here and see what he can do in that. Actually, it was, I mentioned Miller on sponsorship, but it actually does have Marlboro on the hood. But so we got the beer and cigarette combo there for that 04. Right now, though, our highest climber still continues to be Todd Siebel's, up 17 positions from his starting spot. A few of those other, though, are right there on track with him. Jim Brooks is up plus 13 in that 51. And then Frank Ranger Jr., that 17 truck here. So you can see him just behind that McDonald's truck. He is currently plus 13 as they stand. And remember when I talked about Gabe Butler being in the back? Well, it looks like he and that 510 said, you know what, let's go for it here. And they're making a big charge to the front. They're going all the way up to that third lane. You see the 04, he clears the bottom. He's going to jump down low. That leaves Jim Brooks now up in the middle by himself at the moment. But Gabe Butler, though, getting great help from that 510. And yeah, Jim's thing, man, I got that outside line where I wanted to, but I didn't have the help I was looking for. So he's now going to get a little bit of help, but he clears himself down to the inside line there. As now you see, though, that 88 and the 510 trying to get back to the front. Right now still holding in about the 4th and 5th positions. Let's hop on top of that number 510 and see what we see out of that roof. Saying it's going to be a lot of Guinness is what we're going to see out of the roof of that 510 of Rick Sanchez as they hit into turn number 3. Just a little bobble. You can see right there, just a little separation. But then once they get out of 4, he's going to jump right back onto that back bumper, get a good push, and try to lock onto him. And you can see the momentum difference that they do. Eric Laurie's going to tag on with him. You see Charles Johnson say, hey, wait for me, guys. I want to come with this train. And to say, unfortunately, Ambrose Nables goes from 1st to 5th here in just a banner of a straightaway pretty much. Now jumps back into 4th, though, able to get back around the 9. But that's how much speed you can make. And I think that what's happening is that pace of this race is definitely slowed down. And I say Matt was working on his microphone, getting things squared back away. But, Matt, I think we're in fuel mileage mode. I think these guys are backing down the pace because some of these guys, their best laps are in the mid-46s. And I'm seeing a lot of 47, 48s here. I think these guys are running to a fuel number so far because, again, if you can make it on 2 stops, you don't want to have to hit that 3rd stop.
Yeah, you got to be very careful. I noticed that one of our playoff guys, Jason Bogart's all the way back there. He's having a hard time keeping up with the back there, but he's probably going to be burning the most fuel out of everybody. But I kind of like where Ryan Decker's at there.
Yeah, he's in a nice little pocket now. He's right behind the main pack. And he doesn't have to really push too hard to get back up there. I'm looking at Bob Fitzgerald. He's about a half a second back. He might have to hustle up a little bit to get back to those guys, which will burn that little bit of fuel like you mentioned. But then, yeah, for Gary Winters, Jason Bogart, yeah, you can see the 10 still is kind of lingering some damage. Again, he was just in the wrong place at the wrong time. No fault of his own for that incident. The biggest problem for him, though, is he's right now sitting 2 down, whereas Gary Winters is just 1 lap down in that number 66. So he's going to need to get some breaks to get back into this one for Jason, unfortunately. But, again, still a lot of racing to go. Like I said, still 2 green flag pit stops to go for sure in this one. And you see the boot knockers kind of been able to get back to that 1, 2, 3. Well, I should say 1st and 3rd with help from the 510 in the middle there. As I talk about people back on the pace, though, last time by, Bud Steele ran the fastest lap of the race, a 46.25, as he's got help from Ryan Decker and then Peter DeBorge in that 40. They're starting to make a charge back towards the front here. And we're kind of a mixed bag here, Matt, on which drivers topped off on the when to go and which ones just pitted under the caution. I feel like it's probably a bit of a wash, but especially with those that are leading up front. I think obviously they're going to start to burn that extra fuel. I'm trying to really find who's the first driver that's just kind of been cruise control a good chunk of this race, or I should say since the restart. I would say Peter B. I feel like now he's starting to hustle back up there, probably burning some fuel out of that 40 truck. But yeah, I'm going to be intrigued to see. But my concern now is I'm looking at this 04 here. He's starting to drop back a little bit, but they've lost Seth Groover. I'm not sure what happened to Seth here because
oh God, that's a big one.
Oh yeah, it is. Let's say that's involving. We just talked about Peter DeBorgia, Charles Johnson as well, and that truck's a modified. It looks like that thing has no steering as it heads straight into the inside wall there, unfortunately. And then you mentioned one of our playoff drivers also in that 9 involved here. So we just went back to go peek what happened to see what was going on with the 32, and he kind of winds up being at the best place at the right time there. So. But let's go back here. Let's try to get a better look to see what exactly happened.
I would focus on the 9.
I was going to say, we saw it was right around the 9 and the 40, so we're going to jump over to that number 9 machine. And we'll pick it up here in slow motion. And we talked about that apron being a dangerous spot, and he just caught the apron on entry, tried to save it, and then unfortunately in doing so, caught that number 40 of Peter DeBorgia. They get hooked together into the outside wall. Big hit for that 40. You can see the right front completely hit. Oh, Dean Wilkinson gets his shot too there. As you see, Hondo Longmire just sneaks on by, but it's also a really big hit for Dean here, one of the teammates of that 9 truck. Although now that as he goes by, now the truck shows that everything's good. So we'll have to wait and see officially if that truck has any damage or not. But I'm going to go back one more time here, Matt, because this is extremely close for Hondo Longmire, so we're going to hop on board with this 43 and watch it at speed. There's no time to react to that 43 truck, but he gets through it okay as Field's hitting pit road here. That 88 is heading in now, and of course, great break for the 66 Gary Winters. That's going to give him the lucky dog back on the lead lap. Which will then also, this will kind of be a net gain also for Jason Bogart because now he'll be the only truck down a lap, although he's going to stay out here, I believe maybe opting to try to get one of those 2 back and then hope for another timely yellow. But if that's the case, I'm a little nervous about this map because, again, he's not going to have too much further he can go until he has to pit again. So he's already gone, I think, 12 laps since he last hit pit road.
Oh man, you got to feel for Peter there. That's
a tough break for Peter.
Yeah, he was sitting in a great spot, saving fuel, just staying mind his business, and things happen. You can't change anything. You can't go back.
No, I mean, there's not much you can do. But I mean, unfortunately, had to take it till, like I said, that truck just had nothing. It could not drive. I mean, so I'll say unfortunately he's kind of rocking the modified look on that number 40 right now, but. Again, he'll probably try. I'm guessing he'll go for the fast repair. You can see actually it looks like the tow just finished. Fast repair is done, and he's going to grab tires and roll back out on track. So I think he'll fall 1 lap down, which actually that might be why Jason Bogart opted to stay out here. We'll keep an eye on the 10 because if he does stay out, he'll wave around here, Matt, which would now make the battle for Lucky Dog between the 10, I believe, and the 40. So that could come into play as well. So we'll have to keep an eye out on that one. But it was Gabe Butler, though, who won that race off of pit road. And it looks like either 2 or fuel only. However, these 2 behind him, the 510 and the 6, 4 tires out of those 2 trucks. I think that's a good time to take it here. That way, maybe, again, green flag pit stops should be able to take a little bit less fuel. But I do still think we're in a 2 pit stop window now at this point because we're going to restart here, be lap 28 on the restart. And actually, here comes the 510. He's going to hit pit road, top off, along with Eric Laurie. A little bit of a mixed bag actually here, Matt, because the teammate of Eric Laurie stays out. Usually we see those guys always doing the same thing, so a little surprising here. But sure enough, though, you see the 10, he's rolling around, so he's going to get one of those 2 back. So that'll put Jason Bogart back to 1 lap down in that number 10 truck. But again, he's got to try to hustle this thing back around. And the thing for Jason is he's going to need a timely yellow, unfortunately, to get back into this one before he makes his green flag pit stop. Just the speed of this track, you pretty much cannot pit under green without going a lap down. So he's going to want to have pretty much he'll want to get another yellow. He pitted again last on lap number 14, so he can go to probably about lap 34, I would say 35.
Yeah.
So he's going to need a pretty quick yellow, unfortunately. But yeah, so up front, though, Matt, we got a little bit of a new running order again. Now Gabe Butler back to the front, Bud Steele now next to him. Then you got Jeremy Osborne and Ryan Decker. And what I'm looking at is you've got two of the Roswell teammates there lined up on the outside lane. So I would expect that it's going to be some tough sledding for Gabe here on this restart. And then I'm also seeing Jacob Lee, Hondo Longmire. They're pretty close together as well. So we have a few teammates lined up, a few that are a little bit spread apart. And I think the fuel mileage game is back out of the question again with the timing of this caution. I think we're back to a two-stop no matter what here. So I don't think there's going to be any fuel saving now. So it's going to be that 88 leading this restart here. Again, he's the control truck, can start as soon as that pace car is off. But let's say, again, most of these guys will always wait till a green flag flies. That way they stay as tied up as they can. And you can see, you already see the separation between that 88 and the 41, and then the complete just lock on for the 48 and the 6 as they head back into turn number 1 here. Again, starting lap number 28 of 70, so still not quite halfway in this one. And I think we're going to see a big push from this outside line here out of 2, Matt.
Man, that outside line had a big run.
Yeah, so they were lined up very nicely here, as you can watch. Just I say this is still building up speed. How fast these trucks are flying through here, as you see right there, one just cutting really close to the apron, just what we talked about a little earlier. But yeah, great teamwork though between that 6 and the 48. So you can see now kind of the 48 returning the favor.
What was that?
What? I see a Charles Johnson on pit road.
That was Charles Johnson there, coming down pit road.
Possible pit penalty for the 9, not 100% sure. But yeah, may have had a pit penalty that he had to come and serve on that restart. So that does happen from time to time as they entering close pits, things of that nature. So we'll try to keep an eye on the 9. But again, another championship contender. Charles with 6 end points coming into tonight, 19 out of the lead. So again, so far we've had a number of drivers getting caught up in some situations here this evening. Right now he's still on pit road, so we'll keep an eye on him.
Oh, we got a wreck.
Oh, yeah, we do, and it looks like the 510, another playoff contender. He was 3rd in points coming into tonight, and I think I saw some possible damage as well to Eric Laurie. But remember that strategy we just talked about, though, for that number 10 of Jason Bogart? Well, I think Peter's going to have him, I believe. However, that's a huge break, though, because now he can pit under caution. But let's go back. Let's take a look, see what exactly happened here, because once again, it looked like it was around the 510. So we're going to focus on Richard here, and he is on that inside. Oop, that's a little bit too fast, and let's back it up because I hit fast forward instead of play. And it's just that apron again here, Matt. He just kisses the apron on the entry.
Yeah.
It's almost identical to what we just saw happen to Charles Johnson. Just caught the apron, tries to catch it, but it's been tough to catch these things. And unfortunately, you see Eric Laurie, you can already see him. He's already smoking his tires, trying to lock it up to not get into the 510. But unfortunately, got into the right rear, or sorry, the left rear, I should say. Apologies. And then that sends the 510 back up across the track here. But I believe.
So, Gael, I have a little dilemma for you. I wonder if Peter got netcode off of that, and they gave 510 the lucky dog.
Well, we'll have to wait and see. I believe we'll find out pretty quickly. And based on what I see, everybody down on the apron, Peter's rolling around pretty quick here. I think we'll see. I think it is going to be that 40. But
wow,
I think if you're Bogart here,
extremely lucky.
Yeah, but if you're Jason here, you got to pit because now you can get that fuel put in your truck. The other driver that this could benefit, I don't know if it's going to be enough time, though, is I'm watching Charles Johnson because he's just coming into turn number 3 now. I was going to say he could stay out here, try to wave around and get back on the lead lap. So we'll see if he might be able to hustle through here because Bud Steele's the leader and he's hitting his pit stall now. So I'm going to watch Charles Johnson. Oh, Gabe Butler actually stayed out here. He's just driving through. So I think this will be interesting. Will the 88 staying out affect the 9's potential here of getting that wave around, because I believe what's going to happen is Gabe's going to go ahead and pit this time by, and then that would put the 9 at the tail end of the lead lap. So I'm going to, tail end of the lead lap. So I'm going to be watching these two trucks right now, the 88 and the 9, because like I said, I think the 88's going to jump on a pit road. So, but I think this could get the 9 back on the lead lap here, which would then make that 10 truck of Jason Bogart the only truck one lap down, and then again, and with a fresh tank of fuel too. So, and he's also probably getting some more damage repairs done to that truck just to help it drive even better. So, this is kind of about the best you could hope for Jason Bogart. Short of obviously, of course, short of using the fast repair, but I like saving it just in case, because you just never know in these races. You can see Peter DeBoer rolling out of pit road now. Again, he is in the same situation. He just got that lucky dog. He's rolling on by. So, but this is what I'm going to be watching here, though, Matt, is this 88 truck and the 9 truck. Because I believe once the 88 comes in, the 9 should then kind of take over the tail end of the lead lap, and that should let him go ahead and wave around. And you can see Gabe's going to be leading the field here. Because remember how I told you that the fuel mileage was out of the question? We're right back into the fuel mileage game here, because we're going to restart on lap number 33, and it should be a one-stopper to the end. But
Jacob Lee's going to stay out.
Yeah, I got a couple gamblers: Jacob Lee, Jeremy Osborne, Honda Longmire, Frank Ranger Jr. There goes Charles Johnson. So, yeah, so he will be back on the lead lap. So, yeah, this is great for Jason Bogart. He had another about a minute of pit stop there to get damage repaired. So this might be about perfect for Jason. Now he's just got to try to stay on stay in the main pack, don't get involved in any future incidents, and then hopefully that puts him in that lucky dog spot. So if I'm the 10 right here, I go ahead and jump right back in pit road. He is not going to, though. I would almost come back in just to top off to have that little extra fuel, but I think he wants to make sure he has that track position here. All right, so we got the highlighter bros going to be on the inside line here, Matt, that 21 and the 43. And then you're going to have the 41 and the 17 on row number 2. And that will be Jeremy Osborne and Frank Ranger Jr. And then in that 5th spot will be Ambrose Nabel in the 04. I'm a little concerned, though, because that back spoiler says, if you can read this, I'm drunk. So we'll have to keep an eye on that 04. Hopefully he's able to hold a steady line down the backstretch. I don't think there's any breathalyzers required in this league, but we'll keep an eye on that in the 04 truck here. So again, watching the field here, Peter DeBorgia's just now coming out of turn number 2, while the field's coming out of turn number 4 to take this restart. I think we're going to have a few more trucks here that just aren't caught up. I'm a little nervous about the 9, the 32, and the 40 here. 66 just caught up to the back of the field here, waiting for that green flag. Again, these guys just a little spaced apart here. And yeah, that 40 is in trouble here, Matt. He is not with the field as the green flag is back out.
He's in deep trouble.
So the 9 and the 32 as well.
So apparently Peter got black flag because he had to wait on the 9, and the 9 had that's a total bummer.
Yeah, it's tough, I say, when you're either getting damages repaired or trying to just catch back up, and yeah, it sometimes gets a little bit sketchy. So unfortunately, the great news for the 9 turns into a little bit of bad news now, even for him, because he's back in the lead lap, but now he's kind of off on his own. So I'll have to keep an eye on him, and also keep an eye on that number 40 as well. But up front, though, I was talking about the teammates there on the inside line. It's the outside line that got the big push there, Matt. The 41 and the 17. Jeremy Osborne taking the point now with that 17 right in front. Frank Ranger Jr. here. So they're going to run 1-2, and I don't think that the 43 and 21 liked what they had there, because they went straight back to the top here. I think they want to try to get back to the points, and I think they might also be a little upset because that 41's got some of the similar color schemes on than their truck, so they might want to consider working with him, I feel like. And then a truck we have not talked about, and I'm surprised by it, but not surprised now to see him up front. That's the 8 of Dude Conrad. He's kind of one of our part-timers, but when he is here, he's always one to watch. And now look at the 66 here, Gary Winters, the 80, Rudy Doden. they're working together. Those teammates there working that third lane, trying to get to the front. So again, it's starting to shift again a little bit. And with all that was going on, peeking around, those 21-43 back to each other here once again. And actually, it looks like Peter DeBorgia back on pit road. So yeah, it may have been a pit penalty like you mentioned, Matt. So we'll have to keep an eye out for Peter here. But again, though, Peter can still play a big role in this race for his teammates, though, Eric Laurie, as well as Gabe Butler. So we'll see what Peter's got in store for maybe the outcome of this race later on. And I believe next time by, we will hit halfway.
Man, oh man, what a pretty much a storybook race for Peter there. That's pretty unfortunate. He may go 2 down.
Yeah, right now still sitting on pit road, waiting for him to grab a gear. But again, I feel like, I mean, of course, if he has a chance, he'll still try to go for it. But I think, yeah, say he's starting to roll now. But yeah, I think Peter his main goal here is to try to see if he can help his teammates in that 88 or the 071. However, back up front, though, say again, it's kind of ebbing and flowing who's leading and who rolls back. But at halfway, it's going to be Jeremy Osborne in that 41 truck. He is our leader. There goes Peter DeBorgia leaving pit road. Unfortunately, I think Peter's going to lose this main pack here. However, we'll be able to tag on to that 32 and the 9, Charles Johnson, Seth Groover. He'll be able to hang on to these two guys, and that'll kind of give them just that little extra speed. And then we mentioned Jason Bogart right now. He is doing exactly what I'd be doing. Rolling towards the back of this field, holding the draft, but saving fuel and able to keep that truck in safe spot. As I say that, the 8 of Dude Conrad up in the wall, Bud Steele involved as well. The
Wow.
10 of Jason Bogart just got collected in it, though. And so was in the Lucky Dog spot, but involved in the yellow, so he's going to lose that Lucky Dog position, unfortunately. Oh, that's a heartbreaker for Jason. It's just not been his night tonight.
Yeah, I know. It's man. Wow. I don't know what to say.
We'll go back here and take a look. And as I said, I saw it start around Dude Conrad, so we're going to focus on the 8 truck here. Find him on the timing and scoring. Yeah, he already seems already loose, so let's back it up a little bit more. And I think it's just the apron strikes again here, Matt. So we're watching him. He's following the 071, watching the 41, or following the 41 071. And yeah, he just caught the apron and it really stepped that truck out pretty aggressively. And it's the same thing. These guys, they try to catch it, and it just steps out away from them. And you can see he's trying to wheel it, and then right into the path of the 510 of Rick Sanchez. That's third place in points, heavy into the wall. I think that's his second hard impact. That might be the night for Rick here.
But you know what?
Oh, and then Bud Steele.
The Lucky Dog.
Let's see. So I think, let me go back a little bit, Matt, because I think the 48 and the 6, yeah, they make contact as well, trying to get woed up for this incident here. So they see what's going on up ahead. They try to woe down here. And so, again, just everybody trying to find a way to get through. And yeah, the 48 and the 6, they get hooked onto each other. And unfortunately, that throws the 6 up into the outside wall there as well. Nothing Bud can do. And of course, not anything intentional by Ryan by any means, just everybody trying to get woed up there. And then this is where Jason Bogart almost looked like he had it cleared, and then unfortunately just catches the 6 from that contact, and then that's where the 10 gets caught up in that one as well. And so that's a tough one there.
Richard got caught in that too.
Yeah, so we'll jump back live. But yeah, like you said, though, when we're talking about the bad luck for the 10, turns into good luck for the 40. I believe that's going to put the 40, though, to 1 down from being 2 down, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
So he'll still need 1 more Lucky Dog. I said we'll jump back up front here, as I believe it looks like we did have everybody hit pit road. But once again, we'll step away, try to get everything caught back up here. I got to support our wonderful sponsor, 40 Racewear. So stay tuned. We'll be back here at 1 to go.
40 Racewear, makers of the ultimate sim racing shoes and custom apparel designed for sim racing by sim racers. 40 racing shoes are engineered to connect racers to the pedals in a way no other racing shoe can, all the while giving you the comfort needed to complete those double and triple stints. Visit 40racewear.com and check out the latest sim racing products that let you connect to your sim.
lights are back off of the pace truck. Everybody's getting lined back up here for this restart with the 1-2 green. Looks like Eric Laurie is going to win that race off of pit road. He'll have Jeremy Osborne, I believe, is going to wind up being next to him right now. He's still kind of rolling the bottom. Then you have Gabe Butler in third. I think Jim Brooks is going to be fifth. Ambrose Nabel will be in the fourth position. It's like I said, everybody's still trying to get sorted out here. And then, yeah, we had a handful again here, top off on that one to go. It looks like from Dean Wilkinson on back. But once again, though, now we're going to restart with 31 to go, so it's going to take the fuel mileage once again back out of the equation. Will be one stop to the end from here. Again, these trucks can go about 19 to 20 laps on fuel, so with us going to restart with 31 to go, they could almost split this thing evenly. Maybe look at restarting, or I should say pitting with about 15 to go. Just kind of split it evenly, maybe try to separate themselves from the field, but again, the concern on that strategy is the potential of getting trapped a lap down and getting caught on an untimely yellow. So we'll see. Everybody's trying to get themselves sorted back out here with the wave rounds and such. It looks like Jason Bogart is back out on track. I think he did take the fast repair now on that 10 truck. So he will be competing with the 40 of Peter DeBorgia for the lucky dog position. Unfortunately, I think the 510 of Rick Sanchez has retired from the event from his damage. And we got lengthy pit stops for Jude Conrad and Bud Steele with their damage. And we are back to green as a little bit of a mix up there on the start, but looks like Eric Laurie going to lead the way. The 04 to his outside, the 41 behind him. Then once again, the 17 Frank Ranger Jr.'s right there. Gabe Butler, Jim Brooks. I'll say as everybody starts to build back speed here with 31 to go.
And just to clarify, Gael, our good old buddy Eric Laurie did have an incident prior, so he still has a 4X on his.
Yeah, so we're trying to kind of peek around and try to see which drivers may be incident-free, which drivers may have those bonus points, because, again, those are always going to be all valuable bonus points to have, those two incident-free bonus points. As here comes the 04, he's going to try to peek to the outside of the 88, but right now no help for him yet. And I don't think anybody's going to jump out there right now. Now the 66 is going to jump up there. That's Gary Winters. I think Ryan Decker, Jim Brooks.
No, Gary's going to leave him out to dry.
Gary's going for it all here in that 66. He saw some momentum, and he said, I want to get to the front there. But that third lane, I saw the 41 just kissed the apron a little bit there, but looks like he's able to hang on to it. But yeah, right now he's trying to get that third lane, but now he's going to fall back in line. And here now goes the second lane. It's going to be Gabe Butler, Jim Brooks running that second lane here, try to get to the front. Right now.
Ooh, little bit of bobbing and weaving back there.
Jim Brooks gets a good run out of 4. He's going to jump to the outside of the 88, but doesn't really have any takers with him. Eric Laurie is still committed with the 41 on the bottom side. And now the 66 is a big push. Oh, big wiggle there. I don't know how they hung on to those two trucks there. That was the 66 and the 80 of Gary Winters, Rudy Doden. They had a huge head of steam there, but unfortunately their path was blocked by that 51 truck. And I think just somehow they barely hung on to that. And so you saw Jim slot back in behind the 21 of Jacob Lee, and Gabe able to slot back in right behind that 41 there as well of Jeremy Osborne. But right now, Eric Laurie continues to log laps here, get some laps led in that 071 truck. Again, Eric was 4th in points coming into tonight, only 14 out of the lead. So like I said, a good night for Eric here. He could jump up into that second spot, but he's still, especially obviously with the tough night for Rick Sanchez, that's going to drop him down the points order here. But right now, of those top 5 in the points, Nicholas Wing, of course, really, really heartbreaking for him, showing in 22nd with the issues he had, the pit road glitch for him. But Gabe Butler, Ryan Decker, Eric Laurie, they're still all in the running here. So, I think this top 5, top 10 in the points is going to really shake up after tonight. All right, Matt, we're getting close to strategy time here. With the way this race has gone here, we've had 4 cautions so far in this race. We haven't got a green flag pit stop yet. If we get to the fuel window, let's say 19 to go, 18 to go to make it to the end, do you pit as soon as your window's open, or do you want to run long and keep yourself an opportunity for green, white, checkered? I mean, what's like? I feel like there's times where you kind of want to try to break away from the field and see if maybe you can do something yourself with your teammates and kind of put it on them to then try to catch back up to you. What are you thinking?
I want to pit with Gabe Butler. That's just plain simple. When he comes in, you follow. Well, because those guys have done it and done it all, and he keeps winning races. And yeah, when he pits, you pit. But overall, if he's not on the track, I like the long run guy. I really do.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like this track and Atlanta are the two tracks that you want to run long on fuel, just because, again, a pit stop will put you a lap down or more. Daytona, Talladega, you can pit and stay in the lead lap. Those tracks, I think, are more forgiving to try to maybe make that outside, or sorry, the short pit work. And I think you see right here, I think they're trying to get themselves organized here. Eric Laurie, Gabe Butler, trying to get latched on together.
Bam!
Huge hit there.
But look at the 66 on the outside with a run. And he's got Seth Groover pushing.
Yeah, it was a great run down the back. I mean, we saw how big of a hit that was for the 88. Oh, 04 there on the apron. Oh, caution back out. I think I saw the 04 catch the apron. Ambrose Nabel. He's going to grab a gear, but it looks like, trying to see if there's smoke coming out the back of that truck or not, but it looks like he's taken a quick tow there. And unfortunately, I think just again that turn 3 apron, I think it caught another driver here. That's been the trouble spot so far tonight. So we'll focus back up on the 04 here. We'll zoom in a little closer, get a better look at him, and we'll see if here, yep, right there you see just caught the apron, and then again you just start trying to catch it, and just. Again, you're going 230 or so, wow. 220, 233 turns. You're just trying to chase it. Look at Ryan Decker already on the brakes, saw what's coming, just can't quite do enough, though. He gets into
him. Yeah, he caught him, but I'm looking at this truck right now. It just a little crinkle in the right front hood.
Yeah, I think he'll be all right. He without needing the fast repair. Also, looks like some pretty good saves there by Jim Brooks there, the 10. Jason Boger, I think, got through that nicely as well as the 17. I think Hannah Longmire had a really close call once again as well to get through. But now it's going to be the Lucky Dog battle here.
Bogart.
Will it be Peter? Will it be Jason? I think right now on track position, I'm showing Peter ahead. So I think Peter's going to get back once again on the lead lap. But here's the strategy, though, Matt. Again, even from here, you can't make it to the end. If you're Jason, do you wave around here? Because you still have to pit. Nope, he's going to come in. He's going to get fuel as well to make sure he doesn't have to pit by himself. And I think I'm okay with yeah, because right now he's the only truck I think that's going to be one down, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, that's a good call.
However, that does put Peter DeBorge again. He was 2 down. He's back on the lead lap in that number 40. Been sticking
Man,
with
he's had himself a race.
Yeah, he's had an up and down one here tonight. But again, though, we're outside so this is going to be an even bigger question mark to me, Matt. For pit stops, do you pit early? Do you pit late? Because they're going to need maybe I don't know. I'd say half a can, maybe a little more than half a can of fuel to the end. This could be a pit stop where they could actually short pit and stay in on the tail end of the lead lap and not get put a lap down. So I'm going to be watching. I think somebody's going to gamble with trying to do a short pit. But you got to have enough trucks to do it, though. That's going to be the critical part. And then looking at the pit stops right now, we had a pretty lengthy pit stop here for Rudy Doden. He's sitting at about a minute. Jim Brooks was on pit road for about 32 seconds. It was about 46 for Gary Winters, about 32 for Dean Wilkinson. So I think, again, some drivers having some damage to repair. You mentioned Ryan Decker, Matt, not having too much. He was only a 23-second pit stop. So those guys, yeah, a little bit of damage, but definitely worth saving that fast repair on. So I think that's a great call here. I'm going to be watching here, too, to see who tops off here. Like I said, if you have a big, you know what? We're going to spy on our Discord drivers here and see how many we have where. So we've got 4 in the Blind Squirrel channel. we got a couple fakes going on here. So, yeah, nobody's really committing in. Ryan Decker's going to go. He's going to go ahead and top off here. Let's say Peter DeBorge is going to wait, make sure he doesn't get penalized here. He's going to jump back onto pit road as well. So Blind Squirrel's got 4. The Bootknockers have 3 with Gabe, Eric, and Peter. Hondo and Jacob are together. Seth Groover's working with Jason Bogart. Right now, it's actually just now Jim Brooks and Ryan Decker together in Roswell. And then you've got Charles Johnson, Dean Wilkinson, and Todd Siebels with TW. So the biggest team right now are the Blind Squirrels, which include, I believe, Jeremy Osborne. Actually, no, I think it's 3. I apologize. Jeremy Osborne, Frank Ranger, and it was Ambrose Nabel, but I think is he still on track? Oh, he's actually back on track here in the 04. So they still have 3 as well. So I think 3 is kind of the magic number right now for teammates in this one. But we are on the 1 to go. Peter DeBorge is making absolutely sure he does not get penalized here getting in and out of pit road. He just completely stopped there to make sure before he wanted to take a quick splash of fuel. This may not be a good decision, though, because I think him doing this has cost him so much time that he's not going to get caught back up to the field here. So, yeah, we're going to have to get some things squared away for future seasons, as I know admins have been talking about making some adjustments and everything. But we'll get something figured out. But what we do know, Matt, is we're going to restart this thing with 22 to go. Outsider fuel window. Do we see any short pit strategy from our drivers here? And who will it be first? Like I said, you got to have numbers to do it. And I think it's going to be one of those, whoever blinks first, then you'll see a quick response from everybody else. But Pace Truck is off. It's going to hand it over to Gabe Butler, Eric Laurie to his outside. Row 2 is Seth Gruber, Todd Siebels. And the green flag is back, and we are back underway here. 22 to go. Gabe Butler leads the way here. Unfortunately, those teammates not able to get lined up, Matt. So the 071 kind of pinned on the outside. Nothing he can do. Look at Charles Johnson getting back into the mix of this thing. We talked about Charles having some bad luck earlier. He's recovering very well, going back for the lead here from help from Eric Laurie. I also see the 21s back up into the mix, and so it's all to play for here, Matt.
Gabe could be lifting.
So what they could do here is if Charles can clear with Eric Laurie, they could both, yep, there you go, jump right in front of Gabe. And now Gabe's got his teammate right along with him here. So we'll keep an eye on that. You see Peter actually rolling back onto pit road here. I think, unfortunately, he was trying to do the right thing to not get penalized and get a black flag, but I think it wound up costing him an extra lap there. So, Lucky Dog battle, actually, Matt, it still lives on here, though. Jason Bogart right now is in the Lucky Dog spot. Ambrose Nabel is also in that contention for it. But right now, he is about a second and dropping, unfortunately, with his damage, I believe. And then the other driver that I feel like we haven't talked at all about tonight, I think he's just waiting to really try to make a move and try to put himself in a better position, is this number 08 truck, Bob Fitzgerald. I say he's been getting better and better every week, every season. I feel like he's just been playing it safe tonight. I feel like Bob hasn't shown his true hand. So I'm going to keep an eye and see if Bob can make something happen here, pull off a top 5 or better here coming into the closing stages of this race. And say, again, just have to make sure he's got the right strategy and then just make the right moves at the right time. But I think he's had a really kind of just a calm and quiet race so far in that 08.
Yeah, Bob. Man, I would like to see Bob get a win. That would be, awesome. He's been creeping up there. He's been there. It's just luck has not been been the best. And I feel you, Bob. I really do.
Yeah, man. That's what it takes. Is obviously it's still the preparation, the skill, and then just kind of doing all the right things. But yeah, there's still always a little bit of luck to be involved in it too. So we'll definitely keep an eye on that one for him. And Matt, I'm saying fuel window is now open. We are at 19 to go. Next time I'll be 18 to go. Nobody tucked in that time. But I want to see, does somebody blink here? Do we see any drivers here try to pit with their teammates here early? Like I said, there's a couple boot knockers together. There's the the Highlighter Bros working together here, locked on with each other. Jim Brooks, Ryan Decker, they're right there with each other as well. So, and then TW right now, they're a little spread out right now with the 9 leading. The 55, Dean Wilkinson, he's at the back of the field, and the 45 of Todd Siebels is right inside the top 5. So they're a little spread out, but so far no blinkers yet. Nobody wants to jump in as of this point. I'm thinking they might be thinking those 3 green, white, checkered potentials here. As you see the field about to catch Peter here to put him, I believe, 2 laps down. Actually, no, it'll put him 3 down here at this point. But like I said, I think Peter right now is just trying to get himself set up here to be a good teammate for Eric and for Gabe. Like I said, he may not be able to win this race, but I think he can definitely help his teammates win this race.
Yeah, I think as much as a race of the storybook race he's had, yeah, he's gonna pit.
But that's what makes that team so difficult, is even when they're not having a good race, they're still going to be there for their teammates. And yep, here they come. So you've got Charles Johnson, Gabe Butler, Eric Laurie, Todd Siebels, Jacob Lee, Hondo Longmire, Dean Wilkinson, and Bob Fitzgerald. They are the first to hit pit road here, Matt. That leaves 7 lead lap trucks still out. Seth Groover, Ryan Decker, Jeremy Osborne, Jim Brooks, Frank Ranger Jr., Gary Winters, and Rudy Doden. Those are the drivers a lap or more down that still need to make their final scheduled pit stop. So do they react and come in immediately, or do they wait and see how the pit exits go for everybody else? And I'm looking at pit stop time, Matt, and I see one that stands out that's going to be, from what I can see, is going to be hurting. That's unfortunately, I think, the 43, if I'm not mistaken. I think that's a glitch, actually. It showed him with a 21-second pit stop. I don't think that's accurate. But
No.
We got Seth, Ryan, Jim, and Jason on pit road together. That's going to now leave these 4 on the lead lap here out here. The 41, the 17, the 66, and the 80 yet to make their pit stops. But here's our answer, though.
Here comes the Gruber brothers. Jeremy Osborne's going to stay out, along with Frank Ranger and Gary Winters.
66, he's... Oh, somehow, I don't know how Gary Winters saved that truck, but he did. That almost was a spin, and it could have brought out the yellow there. But yes,
2 good saves Gary had.
He's had some big moments tonight. But yeah, so Matt, we're still in it here. We got to wait and see for these pit stops to completely cycle through. It looks like these 3 are going to stay out as long as they can. Although actually, Rudy and Gary are in pit road now. That's going to leave these 2 along with Peter DeBorgia here. They're going to stay out here. They're going to try to go long. And I think Peter right now, he's going to try to see if he can get around these 2 guys. He'd be on the tail end of, I think, 2 laps down. But we'll see. Let's jump up front, though, because this is now the race for the lead here once everything cycles through. See, Ryan Decker's the first off, but here comes the momentum being led by Gabe Butler, Charles Johnson, Todd Siebels, Eric Laurie. All 4 of those guys clear, no problem. But I don't think they're going to be able to ditch Ryan Decker, Jim Brooks, and company, because they're all here right together, locked on. The 2 that a few that I do see that fell off, unfortunately, do include Bob Fitzgerald there, Dean Wilkinson, and Hondo Longmire. So we do have a little bit of separation. Actually, right now, Hondo's on the tail end of the lead lap, because here's come the leaders. Going to try to put Hondo a lap down right now in that 43 truck. Again, they still need a pit, but look at Peter here. He's going to try to play spoiler, maybe try to help that 43 truck. And again, this also will help him gain one of those laps back as well. So now he'll fall to 2 down instead of that 3 down. And I was saying Hondo's going to love every minute of that, because that now puts him out of risk of going down that lap. So we'll see how this all shakes out. But up front, it's now Gabe Butler, Charles Johnson at the front. Todd Siebels right there, Eric Laurie. But then here comes Ryan Decker and company back up there with him, Jim Brooks, Seth Groover, and Jacob Lee as well. So right now, looks like it's going to probably be an 8-horse race for the win here as it runs, Matt. But obviously, still a lot of racing left to go in this. So again, just for a recap, these 2 trucks right here, the 17 and 41, they have yet to make their final pit stop. They cannot make it to the end. Just waiting to see when they will come in. But right now, as it runs, Gabe Butler is showing as 3rd place, but will become the race leader. But not if Ryan Decker, Jim Brooks, and Seth Groover have anything to say about it, because they're going to jump to the 2nd lane. Jim locked onto the back of that 48 here, and he is pushing him through up into the 4th spot now for the 48 and making gains on that 3rd place as well of Todd Siebels here as they hit turn number 1. It's going to get tight there.
Oh, boy.
Contact, I think, between the 51 and the 04 truck there. We got to take a look, and I think that 51, yeah, I think he's missing the right front fender of that truck, so that's going to really kill the momentum of that second lane. Jim's going to try to duck back in here, but yeah, you can see though, Matt, that truck is definitely missing some fender damage there, so I should be able to hold on to the draft there, but not going to be able to, I don't think, be able to lead anymore if he gets into that position. So, and unfortunately, that really slowed down the pace of that outside line, so they're going to have to kind of regroup, reorganize. And Jim's going to have to do everything he can here to try to get back up there. Just everybody kind of squeezed a little too much there out of entering turn number 3 that last time. However, next time by, Matt, we will be 10 to go. And again, it's 10 to go.
Yeah.
It's 10 to go on these guys. I say these 2 trucks right here. This is where right now we're at 11 to go. It'll be 10 to go. So right now, like I said, they're basically a lap ahead of the field. But I'm looking at lap times, and it's actually pretty even this last lap or so, Matt, because they ran a 47.50. Gabe Butler Company ran a 47.53, so pretty equal. But yeah, so I didn't mean to cut you off there, Matt. But yeah, it looks like Jim's gotten back up to those guys. But like I said, I don't think he's going to have what he needs to make the push to be able to get to the win. But look at this, though. We got some strategy going here. Gabe saw momentum to the tops. He said, I'm going to go middle. Jacob Lee went to the top side, but then didn't get the help he was hoping for from Ryan Decker. But while it all happened here, that pushes Charles Johnson now to the lead of this pack here. As we do have officially 10 to go for the leaders. This pack here is still sitting at 11 to go. They'll be at 10 to go next time they cross the line. And then Matt, pit stop wise for Frank Ranger and Jeremy Osborne, I want to say they can pit in another, or they have to pit in about, let's see, they pitted lap 46 last. So I think they can,
about probably 4 laps to go.
I think they have about 4 more laps until they have to pit. Yeah, exactly. Lap 66 will probably be about their pit window. And right now they are at 10 to go now, coming to 9 to go for the line. And they're picking up some draft from these guys up in front of them. So they're making time right now, Matt. Last time by was a 47.12 for Frank Ranger Jr. Charles Johnson Company, 47.81. So this going, they need a great in lap and a great out lap, but this could work for these guys. And if I'm them, I gamble, Matt. You say, you know what? I'm going to take the bare minimum fuel I need to make it to the end.
Exactly.
Take all my tires off and just throw it out. I say, you go for the gamble. You go for this win here. So if any of the blind squirrels are listening, that's our strategy. Take a gamble, see if it pays off. I hope it does, because we love gambles in this thing.
They are using that, let's see, it looks like the back of the 10 truck and just kind of saving fuel.
And last time by, though, actually, Gabe Butler and the company, they're picking up the pace, though. 47.15 now for those guys. So they're going. I think they know what's at stake here. I think they realize, hey, these guys are making pretty good lap times. Jeremy Osborne ran a 47.07 last time by to the Frank's 47.43. So again, it's kind of ebbing and flowing right now. Like I said, this pack in front are all on the tail end of the lead lap here. So they're just kind of following them. And like you said, Matt, too, they're saving fuel is what they're doing. So they'll be able to put a little less fuel potentially in those trucks. And like I said, it should be another lap or two before they have to duck into pit row. And we think probably about not this time, but maybe next time or 2 more. But right now, though, it still continues to be.
Oh, man. Who's going to make it?
I don't think...
Is Frank going to make it out in front of Gabe?
Oh, yeah. No, that's going to be the question. And it just depends on how good they can get in and out of pit road, hit their pit stalls. Like, it's a lot of pressure right now. And saying that's the hard part is you put pressure on yourself to like, hey, I have a chance to win this thing. I got to execute. And it's stressful. And again, lap time wise, it was a 47.84 for Gabe Butler, 47.11 for Frank Ranger Jr. 0.7 of a second quicker, Matt. They are closing this gap on these guys.
They are.
And they continue.
I think it's in the pit if I was him.
I would wait. If you're gaining, you keep going. I think you keep going until you have to pit, because every lap you're going, you're saving a little bit more. So And the other interesting part is right now you've got first and second in points. They are running right now first and second on track, third and fourth officially. But so right now I think Ryan's just trying to keep his competition right in front of him, waiting to make the move until he absolutely the last moment he has to try to jump there. However, he's got to hope that that 32 behind him, Seth Groover, is committed to him, because otherwise that fourth truck in line, that's a teammate of Gabe Butler, Eric Laurie. And you know Eric's going to go with Gabe. So we're at 6 to go here, Matt. Leaders, they're going to come across here. This is going to be 5.
They're staying out.
They are saving fuel so much right now, Matt. I don't think there's any feasible way they can make it to the end on fuel.
No way.
But again, they're still running great lap times while saving fuel. It was a 47.05 for Frank Ranger Jr., 47.49 for Gabe Butler. So again, they were half a second quicker while saving fuel in the back of this pack here. And there goes Ryan. He's going to jump to the top here, trying to go for it now, not waiting any longer. But look at this, Eric Laurie pushing the 48. This is not what I expected there. I'd say if you said put money on that, I would have never thought that would happen.
I wouldn't.
So these guys now, leaders coming in. Here's an important entry here. The 17 trying to hustle it in there, but won't.
They went for the top block. They went around them.
All right, leaders are on pit road. To me, I'm a little nervous with the entry of the 41. I don't think he hustled it as much as he needed. But now, yeah, you're right, though. I say while we watch the pit entry, though, now it's all shuffled around. Boot knockers are on the inside. Oh, close there between the 9 and the 21. Charles Johnson trying to get into the mix here, trying to win this race.
Have to turn, but the tables have turned, and it looks like Eric Laurie's leading that bomb by, but no, looks like Charles Johnson on the outside.
All right, 1741 are leaving pit road now. I don't know if it's going to be enough. It's going to be tight.
It's not enough.
Well, to keep an eye and see. Because right now, it won't be enough, I don't think. I think they just weren't able to have a quick enough stop, unfortunately. But we'll see where it all shakes out, because you never know how these 3 races go. You're going to see right now they're going to go. There's the 17, but now we wait for the 41. There's the 41. So, no, can't quite get there. But still time to go here. 4 to go now. Now Charles Johnson officially the leader for the moment, because here comes Eric Laurie. Eric working the second lane here with the 88, trying to get the second spot. Look at Ryan Decker. He gets up to the outside, gets behind that 88 truck, trying to decide where do I take this truck here, because I want to get ahead of Gabe. Do you stay behind him, Matt? Do you go low? Do you go to the third lane? There's still 3 to go here at the line.
Man, oh man.
Ryan is pushing Gabe and Eric here, and now they both cleared Charles Johnson, and they will go to the bottom here. That's going to allow Ryan now to lead the second lane, but no help yet. He is by himself on that outside line, trying to find somebody to go with him. Now Charles Johnson's going to jump back top. He's got help from Jacob Lee, and just right now Ryan cannot find the push. He needs to try to get to he's maybe thinking middle. Nope, he's going to stay in that second lane here. We're going to come around here, and Matt, through this set of turns here, we're going to be down to 2 to go.
Oh, man, Ryan can't catch a break.
Well, he does have help now. He's got the 32 of Seth Groover, and he's got the 071 and the 88 pinned to the bottom here. So, again, right now the race for the win is currently with Charles Johnson. However, it could change any lap here, and now I think Ryan Decker's in the position he was hoping to be in, leading that outside line here. Still has Eric Laurie pinned to the inside for the moment, but just doesn't have the push he needs. There goes Eric. He's going to clear. He's going to jump to the top, try to get the push from the 48. A great move by Eric Laurie here with a lap and a half to go. And look at the backpack, Matt. They're there. Todd Siebels, Dean Wilkinson. We've got a party up front here. Next time by, we will take the white. And again, if they get to the white, at that point, it will be an official race. If a caution comes out before they get to the white, we will have the green-white checkered 3 attempts if needed. And right now, looks like we're going to get to that white flag. Eric Laurie is going to lead that white flag lap. Can he get to the checkered? 1 to go here at iRacing Superspeedway.
Man, oh man, what do you do?
Oh, close there between the 9 and the 48. Somehow they both stay pointing in the right direction. Ryan Decker's trying to make the right move at the right time. But Charles Johnson, nope, he's going to get to his outside. Ryan's going to have to stay committed to Eric Laurie here. But here comes Charles. Big push by the 21. Here comes Eric. He's going to block. A little bit of contact.
Whoa! That was a very late move, but it wasn't enough.
So right now it is still the 9 leading out of 3 here. We'll see through 4. The 9's going to gain some advantage on the exit 2. Now it's the drag race to the finish, Matt. Will it be Charles Johnson, Jacob Lee, Eric Laurie? Charles Johnson gets the win here at iRacing Superspeedway over Jacob Lee, Eric Laurie. Somehow Gabe Butler gets back up into 4th there, and then Ryan Decker is going to bring home a top 5. What a race to the finish. Let's back it up here. Let's do one more run here through the line because that was some dicing moves. But Charles Johnson getting the win here tonight. I think what a push by Jacob Lee getting him there to the end. You see Gabe here. He pokes to the outside, able to get to the outside of Jacob Lee. Jacob tries to sneak to the outside of Charles Johnson. That pushes Gabe up just a little further there. And then as they get to the line right there, you can see there's Charles Johnson clearly ahead over the 21. And then I believe it looks like, yeah, and it's really close actually between the 88 and the 071 here of Eric Laurie. I don't think I'll be able to get it quick enough. But it is showing Eric Laurie as our 3rd place driver there over Gabe Butler, Ryan Decker. Of course, we'll wait for timing scoring to officially give us those results. But we do know for sure is Charles Johnson is the winner of tonight's event. Let's jump back live and we can watch this number 9 truck celebrate. And then let's go ahead and pull up while we watch these guys one more time come through the start-finish line and pull up our final results with Charles Johnson getting the win here tonight by just under half a tenth of a second. Eric Laurie there is indeed 3rd by about 0.006 of a second over Gabe Butler. Ryan Decker 5th. Jim Brooks, Seth Groover, Todd Siebels, Dean Wilkinson, Bob Fitzgerald brings home a top 5. Again, these are guys that they pulled themselves back in from way back, so hats off to Todd, Dean, Bob, and company. Same thing, Rudy Doty, Gary Winters, Hunter Longmire able to get back up there. And, man, I got to give a big shout-out to Jeremy Osborne, Frank Ranger Jr. I love the gamble. Didn't quite pay off, but, man, you were making some drivers sweat there at the end. I loved it, and I say it was so close to working out for you guys. So definitely shout out on that one. Unfortunately, Jason Bogart stayed with it all race long, just couldn't get the right brakes at the right time.
Yeah,
Winds up in 16th there. Peter DeBorges 17th. Ambrose Nabel there in 18th. And unfortunately, a few drivers having a rougher night as well, including our third place going to tonight, Rick Sanchez, Dude Conrad, Bud Steele, and Nick Wing. Really tough nights for those 3, especially because, I mean, again, you look at the points, Rick was 3rd, Nick was in 5th, and then Bud was in 7th. So, I mean, they were right there in the points, but we still got one more to go after tonight. That will be Talladega. So we got some more racing to do, Matt. But before we get to Talladega, we got to chat with some drivers here, and we're going to kick it off with our 3rd place runner, and that is going to be that John Deere machine of Eric Laurie. So let's go to hunt Eric on down over here.
I got him. Never mind.
All right, so we're going to pull in our 3rd place finisher, Eric Laurie. Eric, you led the white flag lap, and then so you kind of got ganged up on there, and it didn't seem like you were able to kind of get lined up with Gabe like you were hoping to. But man, those are some big moves you guys had going on towards the end of that race. You tried to slow the momentum of the 9 down, just wasn't quite enough. I mean, take us through the race and just the dicingness at the end there. I mean, that was exciting stuff.
Well, the race was, I guess, survive until the end there. But the last pit stop, everything worked out good for us. And last 10 laps was a blast.
No, it was a really exciting finish. And the other part of it, too, I mean, of course, it's not by a ton. However, you do wind up the highest finisher of those in the top 5 in points. Obviously, Rick having an early retirement, Nick Wing having troubles. I mean, Gabe and Ryan are right there in front of you, but I mean, so you were 14 down, so you should gain a little bit more going into next week in the finale at Talladega. I mean, after time, do you look at the points at all, or you just say, all right, we're going for it all and see how it shakes out?
Well, I do look at the points, but if I can get Gabe up there and he's in front of me, I will be more than glad to push him along.
It was an awesome run tonight, man, and definitely want to give you the floor here for any thanks and shouts for that podium tonight, sir.
Well, I want to thank you guys for what you guys do. I want to thank Area 51 for putting this all on and making it a lot of fun for us. And I really want to thank my crew tonight, Gabe, Peter, Dude. It was a lot of help tonight.
Great job, man. It was a lot of fun watching you up front there, dicing it up for the win. And like I said, came up just a little bit short, but I'd say you definitely put yourself in a good chance to get it, man. So looking forward to see what you got for him at the finale next week, sir.
All right. We'll see you then. Thanks.
All right. So we're going to switch from our third place finisher to our runner up. And it's going to be one of the highlighter bros, and that is Jacob Lee in the 21. And I mean, I say we're near the holiday season. I say, are you gonna maybe just kind of casually send your Christmas card address there over there to Charles Johnson? Because man, you were locked onto him there that last lap or two. I mean, it was pretty intense watching you and Charles there go for it.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. Just those last few laps were just incredible, so much fun. And I didn't when I lost my teammate Hondo, I didn't have anybody up front, and so it seemed like Charles was by himself as well. And so I was like, well, I guess I'll hook on with him and see if we can run together. And it seemed to work out pretty well for us. So because I knew those Boondocker guys, man, they were hooked up, and there was nothing I could do to split them. But it seems like we finally got them split up a little bit, and it helped out for sure. So like I said, it was a blast.
Yeah, and it was just a crazy race in general too. Like nobody had a kind of a straightforward race. I mean, everybody was like at one point up, then way back, and then we're watching the pit strategies at the end. Like, kind of some drivers pitted short, some went really long at the end. I mean, did it feel like that behind the wheel? That it was kind of everything was everywhere. It's like I said, from my point of view, probably I'm assuming Matt's as well. It seemed like it was pretty wild tonight.
Yeah, it was super crazy. I wanted to get up there and lead a lap so I get some points. And then it was like, all right, we're jumping back because there was trucks down the bottom and the apron back up, and so it was pretty scary. And there was a few wrecks there that me and my teammate Hondo we barely missed. But it was kind of sketchy, but we got through it and turned out good. I hate that we had that early on incident, but looks like we recovered well and looking pretty good here.
Yeah, it was a great run tonight. Like I said, so as they got iRacing under your belts, now we got one more to go at Talladega. We'll see where the points shake out. I haven't got those updated yet, but does that one just go for end the season on a high note, go for the win, or do you look at kind of the points and everything still on that last race?
Yeah, definitely look at the points and kind of see where we stand. We're with us missing that race. I got the schedule mixed up. I thought we were off that week, and I didn't make it. So that's a mess up on my part. Had some Thanksgiving things happen, so I hate we missed that week. But depending on where the schedule lines up, we'll see. We may just, I had the W highlighted, but it didn't work out today. Maybe I'll double highlight it next week, and maybe we can get that W.
Yeah, so you got to get both the green and the yellow highlighter on that one to get the official plan for the win there next week. But it's a great job tonight. Definitely want to give you the floor though for any thanks and shouts for that runner-up spot tonight.
Yeah, for sure. Thanks to Charles, man. It was fun running with him, and good to meet new people out here. Like I said, it's my first season. So we actually switched over. We dropped Chevy and we picked up Toyota. So with picking up Toyota, we brought on a new sponsor, Import Logic there. So huge shout out to them. Also want to give a shout out to our team, J&N Motorsports out there that are watching. And definitely got to give a shout out to Mother Highlighter Bro, the best fuel man in the business, Hondo Lawnmeyer. So and appreciate all you guys. Appreciate 4D Raceware for sponsoring this league, and appreciate all y'all do in the booth. Y'all do a fantastic job, and always look forward to the next race.
All right, man. I'll say it's fun putting on these shows. Like I said, you guys make it easy for us. So good luck next week. Go for it all in the finale, and we'll catch you hopefully in the top 3 interview there as well, sir.
Sounds good. Appreciate y'all. Make sure y'all look for the Highlighter Bros next week.
Will do. All right, that leaves us one left to chat with, and that will be none other than our race winner in that number 9 machine, and that is Charles Johnson getting the win here tonight at iRacing. And Charles, it was an eventful one for you. You had to kind of get some laps back and get back up there, and then kind of blinked and you were back there again. I mean, take us through your night because you had a lot going on tonight.
Yeah, so I caused the first accident. I don't. It's hard if that front car don't go up a little bit so you can see corner entry, and I just missed it and lost it and caused a wreck, and then was doing fine, but somebody, I forget who it was, went in, got their car fixed, and didn't use a quick repair and stayed out a long time, and I had to get behind him. So I had to wait on him, and by the time he got by me, the green flag dropped. So I was way back then. And then I ended up getting passing under a yellow, and not sure how I got that, but that put me a minute and 56-second hold. So that's what got me a lap down, and just luckily the caution come out while I was sitting on pit road, and the lead lap cars pitted, and I was able to get a wave around. So it all worked out good. I really wished iRacing would take a look at something for that corner entry, though. That's a tough corner entry there, man.
Yeah, no, Matt and I were talking. I kind of always refer to it as a Dover on steroids, the way you kind of drop in the turns and bounce out of it. But you're right though. I mean, if you go in blind and behind that truck in front of you, if they don't give you a half lane or a lane so you can actually see it, you're kind of guessing when you got to crank left to make the turn, because again, you actually kind of have to preempt the turn. Like, you can't turn once you get into the corner. You got to be turning that wheel before you make that little drop down into the turn. So no, it's
absolutely,
it's a lot more challenging than it looks. And of course, as well, I mean, when you're going 230, it's all happening really quickly too. But I mean, like I said, I mean, there was a lot of up and down nights tonight. And saying, for me, it was just showing kind of just stick with it, and you never know how it's gonna shake out. And I mean, you were able to do that, able to pull off the win tonight. You also jumped up 3 spots in the points, so now you are tied for third with Eric Laurie, only 14 out of the lead. So I mean, there's still, and only 7 out of second place. So I mean, you can't count yourself out yet. And saying, obviously next week, I know you love Talladega, so I'm guessing you've kind of got that one circled now to go for it all.
Absolutely. We're going to do what we can. I got some pretty good teammates that will definitely be helping me next week. So we'll see how that works out. Old Dean, he's a dedicated teammate and got, I can't even think of his name now.
I did that too. I got a cheat sheet though, so it's easier for you for Todd.
Yeah, Todd. Yeah. So I got Todd and Dean, so they'll be helping me next week.
Well, I mean, I think you made a friend with Jacob as well. So I'll say definitely if you want to work on your sales pitches and try to make some stuff happen. And I also know I'm guessing you're also a happy camper on the college football side of things. I know your team's going for the playoffs there. So I'll say it's probably been a kind of couple of good days here for you.
Oh yeah, I need to shout out and Roll Tide there for sure.
Yeah, so I figure I'd get that one in for you too before we let you go and celebrate though, and of course before we let you do that though, sir, always want to give you the floor here to any thanks and shouts for that win here this evening.
Yeah, just want to say thank you, Gail, Matt, for what you guys do. You're doing an awesome job running the league. To your dad, Jim, just want him to know I'm thinking about him. Everyone that comes around, watches these races, we appreciate you guys. Hope you enjoy it, and we put on a show for you. And I'm so glad you guys pulled me out of that examination room. The aliens in there were about to attack me. So thank you for that as well.
Yeah, we try not to keep you in there too long. So yeah, it gets a little scary at times, but
it was pretty bad.
As a great job though tonight, Charles. I said congrats on that win, man. And like I said, looking forward to seeing what you got for these guys next week. So good luck in that championship finale at Talladega next week, sir.
Yeah, appreciate you, and thanks for everything you guys do again.
I'll love to be able to be part of it. So you guys make it easy for us, I feel like.
Enjoyed it.
All right, that is our race winner, that number 9 of Charles Johnson. And it looks like he actually rolled it straight onto pit road. I wonder if he even had enough fuel to do any burnouts, because some of these guys probably are cutting it a little bit tight there on fuel. But that is our race winner in that number 9 truck tonight, getting the win here at iRacing Superspeedway. And yes, I mean, I can't confirm or deny that, Seth, but you never know. But Matt, we've got one more to go after tonight. Obviously, you've got 2 more on your side, 2 more on Thursday night, and then starting next week, it's championship week here for the trucks, the IR18s, and then the Xfinity cars on Thursday. And then we got a bit of a winter break here before we go strong in 2024.
Yeah, actually, I'm kind of looking forward to the break. For me, God, you're as an admin myself on the indie side, it's quite rough making setups every week. I'm looking forward to the break. But as far as the racing goes, God, I wish we can broadcast the indie side. You just don't know how many good races that was just missed and a bunch of drama. Can we? It's like, can we plead iRacing? Can we broadcast again?
Well, I mean, I said we'll see what the new year brings. I know there's a lot of stuff on the behind the scenes of kind of that was the non-compete disclosures and all that, but I think that's all changing. So we'll see. I say we can't obviously commit to anything yet and comment on what's happening, not happening, because we don't know ourselves. But yeah, I mean, you never know what we could have broadcasting in 2024. So like I said, we got 3 more races to broadcast here, 1 more here on Sundays, 2 more on the Thursday nights. So Boomer calling the shots over there. So I'm excited to see what we have. And yeah, but like you said, man, I mean, big shout out to all the admins, yourself included, and Charles and Jim and Dean and all the guys, Gabe. I mean, Gabe's been doing a lot of the setups for these Superspeedway stuff. So, and of course, everybody watching, I'd say we love the support. Also love having the everybody watching on the chat on YouTube, as well as all the drivers. I mean, we had 22 trucks tonight. That's a great showing coming to the end of the season. So really appreciate y'all coming out each and every week, and it makes it that much more fun for us as well. So with that, we're going to call it a night for tonight and hope you all enjoyed tonight's race. Again, we'll be back on the booth on Thursday night. Boomer Logan calling the shots at iRacing Superspeedway with the Xfinity cars. And then we will kick off championship week 1 week from tonight at Talladega. So until then, take care, stay safe, and very happy holidays. Until next week, have a good night.